Okay, so I'm just going to set this up, make some cuts. Alrighty, well I got those roughed out at the plasma. We'll see if they're at all remotely similar, and then the outsides of them don't really matter. I'm going to reference everything off one edge. It'll be the same for both. The only thing that really matters on this is the wheel motor center line to the frame. Forward and back doesn't matter. That's going to be adjustable, so I'm not worried about too much precision here, but we'll see how close I got it. All right, everyone ready for a grinding montage? All right, so we need a 125 millimeter bore for the wheel motor to shoulder on. And I want it to shoulder on that because if you look at the design here, there's a shoulder here. And that's what I want a really nice positive engagement on. And then the bolts really just locate that in the shoulder. That's definitely the design that this motor is. So I'm going to try and replicate that in our motor mount. So the question is, how do I machine a 125 millimeter bore when I don't have any kind of boring attachment for my milling machine? I could potentially rig this up in the lathe had my 4-jaw chuck been working right now. I need to go through that still. But I have a different idea. I I'm going to rough cut it with the plasma, and then I am going to make my own boring bar. Something I haven't done before, seen it done. I'm going to use that as the stock that I will chuck into the collet on the milling machine. I'm going to drill a perpendicular through hole to allow a cutter. It's a carbide cutter. That will go through, and there'll be a set screw in the bottom threaded in that'll tighten that in. And we'll just make adjustments with that with a dial indicator, and we'll make several passes and increase it as we go through using our telescoping gauges to measure the bore. And I think it'll work out. I don't really know, never done it. Let's try it. Alright, so now I need to center the boring bar. I guess I need to change the collet there. I need to center that in a hole that's not really center. So that's going to be a little interesting to do. What I did before was just sort of set up some makeshift straight edges, and that kind of let me find the ghost sort of center there. And then, because my stroke on the lathe isn't long enough, I can't even use a center drill. But like I say, there's nothing about this that's super precise. I do want it, the center of the drive axle, an inch below the lower frame, but I still haven't welded those mounts on yet. So I'm roughly 1 inch. Fantastic machining terms, I guess, right? So then I have my scribe lines here, and that means that is the center point of the circle. Let's see how far off we are. Not too bad. Not too bad. And I'm just... All right. And you can see that's about how much how much material I'm going to have to remove. But before we go crazy with that, tighten that down. I want to see where we're going to hit here first. Nowhere. Not bad. I think I'm going to start my first cut right about there. Now this is going to be loud. Should put my earplugs in. Alright, now we take our trusty caliper here. Let's measure where we're at. Alright, 16.89. I like taking about half a mil here, so I'm going to reduce that down to 16.4. And I'm working in millimeters because that's just the dimensions that the motors were machined to, so got to work in the units you're given. You know, homemade tools aren't perfect, but it's doing exactly what I need and cheap. And I just checked the other one, and it's 2510, so we have about 1/10 of a mil fit on that. So what do we need to do about 1/10 of a mil more. Wow, okay. That's going to be interesting. Where are we at here? What did I say? Wonder if I should just spring past this. That's exactly what I cut the other one to. Alright, here's the second one. Here's the first. Let's see. We bored that to what I think is the exact same dimension. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at that. That is flush. And that is definitely shouldered on there. Boom! Wheel motor mounts. My transfer punches here, but the motor casing's in the way, so I quickly could have made it a little longer. Machined a little transfer punch to mark these holes. Just need to leave a mark. Perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed the processes it took to make these face plates for the wheel motor mounts. This video is probably about long enough, so I'm going to end it there. The next part 2 of this will actually be doing the fabricating and putting the rest of the pieces together and slotting some holes and making this mount turn into something that can go in the back end of this vehicle. But as I've been working on stuff like this and at my full-time job, waiting, I have been pulling in lots of other parts. Like we're going to put a brand new turbocharger on this Volkswagen diesel that's powering the SnowCat. So there's going to be a whole series of engine videos coming. I've done a bunch of work with it already, just haven't got the videos out. So subscribe, keep watching. There's a lot more to this build to come.